are you?
It's like ages since we've recorded a podcast.
Do you think so?
I feel like that.
The podcast.
I think there is one thing I'm going to say though. We just want to say thank you to all of you that have liked our podcast and our videos so far, and we've received lots of lovely positive comments and negative comments as well. And that's why this week...
Going to be talking about social media. And by social media, we mean like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, stuff like that. Like stuff that you use on your phone. Facebook as well. And we're going to be talking about the impacts of it and what we can do to change like the negatives of it. So, Laksh, I'm going to start off by asking the first question. What do you think the positive impacts of social media are?
So, the positive impacts of social media are like... it's a good way to like chat and communicate. Like especially if you're like far apart or something, then like it's a good way to like make like communication.
Mm-hmm.
And another one is it's a good place to learn as well. Like in class, we watch YouTube videos and stuff, and you use like PowerPoints and stuff. So it's a good way to learn, and like really schools would be much harder if we didn't have social media.
Mum?
So what are the good things about social media? So I agree with what Laksha said, that actually social media is really good as a communication tool, and as long as it's being used for the correct communication, I think it's an amazing way that actually on a global level people can communicate, right? And like Laksh said, it's opened up channels for people like across different worlds, well, maybe different worlds in the future, but it's opened up channels for people across the globe to be able to communicate like instantly like that, isn't it? So I think that there are lots of positive things to social media as well, and I think for a lot of people it can be quite an inspiring place as well. Where you see, people doing really well. You can just learn about other people's cultures. It's just opened our eyes up. If I think back to myself, like even like 5-6 years ago, right? There's so many things I would not have learnt about if I didn't have social media. So I do think there are things like that where you can learn about other cultures, you can learn about other things. I think the other good thing about social media is that some might say this is a bad thing, but you can communicate a message like that. Like everyone across the globe, you can have a message and it can go out to everybody just like that. And I think we didn't have that before. And I think we are in some ways, and again, unpopular opinion maybe. Everyone has their own views around social media. I think there are good aspects to social media. I think on a real personal level, I would say that my steer towards social media is somewhere where, and I don't sit on the fence on many things, as you know, I always have a this or that type of opinion, but it's somewhere, social media is one of the places where I've not been able to actually come to a conclusion as, actually, do I like social media or do I not? Is it a positive thing or a negative thing? Yeah, I think that's really it from me around social media. I think my consumption of social media is probably or how I'm using social media is quite different as a 45-year-old woman to someone that's a young person or someone that's quite influential. I think this topic, there's so much more to it than just saying, oh, the good or the bad. I feel like I've waffled on a bit, Mahi, if I'm honest. So. And I don't know if I've really answered your question very well. What's your thoughts?
So I think my thoughts around social media are like, it can be used in so many good ways, like connecting with people and like learning different things, and also like spreading a message. Social media can be used for good, but it can also be used not in a positive way.
Okay, so on the flip side, what are the bad things about social media? I'm going to answer my own one first because I feel like it.
Okay.
The world would be so much more but so much less with social media, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we use social media for so many things, yeah, so many things that are good, but then the bad things about social media, the horrible comments and messages and like bad influences and like just like some of the like things are not appropriate, but we're letting young people like go on these platforms. What I don't get, what I don't understand, someone has taken time out of their day, they have thought of something to say, just so that they can hurt someone they've never actually met. You met on like camera, but like they haven't met that. You haven't met me, have you? So like, can you really be saying hate comments about me?
I think you're right, Lux. I think I would agree with you in that I think that the bad part of social media sometimes outweighs the good.
Yeah, I think we were a bit struggling on the things to say.
We were struggling a little bit to say the good back.
Because when I think of social media, the world has come to a point when social media, when someone says today we're going to be talking about social media, people like always think they're going to be talking bad about social media, because like there's so many bad things now on social media, and like there's so many like bad people on social media that it's just come to a conclusion where people just automatically think that social media is bad.
I think it's the consumerism of it as well. Like, as me, like, as whatever I am, yeah.
If anybody wants to see her screen time,
no,
just let me know. I can show you her screen time.
I think the consumerism of social media is like so high. Like, you're just scrolling. Like, is that, and then like the guilt hits at the end of the day after you've just been like scrolling at the end of the day, and then you realise that what you want to be doing for the rest of your life. Everything now is so popular. Like, everybody now has an opinion about something. Like, everybody is so opinionated now, and it's not even like you're asking for your opinion.
I think everybody wants to be the main character. Nobody wants to be a supporting character anymore. We're kind of living in a world now where people want to be influencers, they want to be this, they want to be that, and you know, there's a lot of monetizing in social media, isn't there? Like, people want to become famous, or they want to make money through social media. So they think, oh yeah, maybe I could go on social media and become an influencer. Then they want to be like, sorry, am I talking fast? Then they kind of want to be, oh yeah, I'm going to talk about something controversial. Or do you see what I mean? I feel like that kind of controversy and that negative stuff that people want to see is becoming more. It's just
but
more.
then if you think about it, they are actually getting that money from being controversial.
Well, I agree. I mean, we watched Bad Influence, didn't we?
Yeah.
Bad Influencer?
Bad Influence.
Yeah, so
but
we watched.
I used to watch Piper Raquel and everything.
Yeah.
Like, you'd never know though that was happening behind the scenes if you think about it. Then you go back and look at some of her.
Do you have something to say?
Yeah, I haven't watched it, so like.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it was a 15, so we didn't allow Lux to watch this one. Although we do let him watch bits and pieces of it.
If you go back and look at her old videos, like you do see like actually some of it was
really
like
bad.
Weird.
And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, people seem to we are the people. Like, there's nobody else. Us people, like normal people like us, seem to enjoy watching people doing,
random stuff.
Yeah, random stuff, controversial stuff.
I mean, we watched Adolescence as well. I think that was really good.
Yeah, no, Adolescence was really, really good. And again, in there, they talk about social media, don't they? Look, you watched Adolescence as well, and there was bits in there around the impact of social media. And again, this is still sticking on that negative thing. What did you feel that you took away from watching that?
It's just like how someone's life can go like that in 1 second. Like, he's just, the boy, Jamie, I think his name was, has taken away, like if he wanted to be a teacher, for example, he's taken away so many experiences that he could have had, but like he decided to do that one bad thing, and now his life is just like ruined.
We seem to have like gone, like, I think we have more to say about the bad, the bad parts of social media, and I think, watching The Bad Influencer, watching Adolescence, particularly Adolescence, like, what part do you think, both of you think, that social media had to play?
I think in Adolescence it played a really big part, social media did, because at school he was actually being spat on and stuff by boys, but when the girl just rejected him, he decided to go ahead and kill her. But then that leads into the whole toxic masculinity, because he's been consumerizing that content. He's been consuming that content that's making him have such a high ego.
He was consuming content online,
Yeah.
which was focused around toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have social media, he wouldn't be consuming that content.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And do you think that, and I'm just asking your perspective here, because it's just about perspective, right? So you think that he was consuming all this toxic masculinity content online through
Andrew Tate.
yeah. So it's good that my kids are so knowledgeable about these things.
Carry on.
Through Andrew Tate. And so what's your understanding of toxic masculinity, Mahi?
I know who Andrew Tate is. Who doesn't? Yeah, but like,
I didn't.
I didn't know about all of those like different heart colours and stuff. I don't think that many people use like those different heart colours and stuff. Adolescence opened people's eyes on what social media was doing.
And that's what I was trying to get at with our conversation. Like, for a lot of people that are parents like myself, right, we didn't have a clue. Like, I'm going to be really honest, right? I feel like I live in this like parallel universe to the world sometimes, right? I struggled to understand what they meant by incel. I struggled to understand, all of the whole concepts around some of the things that they were talking about.
You're not alone, Mum.
Thank you, Larks. You've struggled as well, haven't you? Like, I thought we were moving towards a world of equality, right? But if we go to this stuff with social media, actually
I think we're going backwards. We're
going backwards, right? Social media's played a big part in that.
We are literally going backwards in time, like to the dark ages.
And I agree with you what you said about toxic masculinity. Like we talk about gender equality, don't we? We've joined the UN Women. How can you, like, if he was consuming, or any of them, because all those children were in contact with each other over social media, weren't they? And I think that's why, probably, I know earlier I said I'm on the fence on what I think about social media, but I think now I would probably say I don't think it's a good place.
Okay, I watch YouTube and all. I watch TikTok, but I don't use social media, if you know what I mean.
No, you don't. You're pretty good, actually.
Like my WhatsApp thing, probably right now I have 100 new messages that I haven't read yet, and I'm just like, because my phone's never charged. Yeah, and secondly, I just don't read them.
The irony of all this is, all of our stuff, these podcasts, they'll be on social media. So we're going to post this podcast. We're just talking about the bad things about social media. We are going to post our podcast and our thoughts, everything that we're saying about the world, we're actually doing. Unfortunately, these bad parts of social media, there's just a surplus of them. There's no end, is there? There's no end to what people would do or go to be famous on social media.
Yeah, I know.
And that is a real big problem. Right? And it's not just like, okay, social media is only available in, like, I don't know, the Western countries. It's all across the globe. My parents sit there watching their TikToks like this. You go around the house, they're too busy. They're on their social media, aren't they? On their WhatsApps.
Then they get annoyed at us when we're on our phones.
They're on their WhatsApps, they're on their Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they could be watching.
Like, they are also consuming this stuff. And sometimes the age appropriateness of what is being consumed is just, I don't know, I just think there's no thinking around any of that. Unfortunately, it's out of control, and I don't know whether it's surpassed the point where it can be brought into control in terms of what like social media is.
I know we stopped the adolescence conversation, but I just want to add one thing.
Yeah,
How do you not know where your 13-year-old son is at 11 o'clock at night? Or whatever time it was, 9
That's
p.m.
true as well, right?
On a school night!
Right. Exactly. For example, right? So Mahi, right? We've just talked about how bad social media is, right?
Very, very
Your
bad.
screen time is really bad. Lux's isn't so bad.
It's out on the toilet for an hour.
No, I don't. I don't
An
do that.
hour.
Do you
I
watch
don't do
Reels?
that. No,
Oh, you do?
I watch YouTube.
Okay.
I watch Stampy, okay? I'm
Oh,
a 10-year-old boy and I watch Stampy, okay? There's nothing wrong with that.
And I have to say, there are some really good social media people out there like Stampy.
Stampy?
I always get his name. Stampy. Because Stampy, wherever you are, I just want to say that
He's in the UK.
Stampy, wherever you are, this message is for you. I just want to say I love you. Not that kind of love, but you know what I mean. I love you. You have, in our little single parent family, for my boys, brought, I don't think you even realise what you brought them in terms of that kind of male influence. And I just want to say, thank you.
Yeah, but Stampy's raised loads, that whole generation.
And he's really good. And that's what I'm saying. So there are good people on social media, right? But far and few between. Few and far between, unfortunately. But Stampy, thank you. I really do want to thank you, actually. Like, my boys love you, and I think you are absolutely amazing in what you teach the children and your manner and everything else. You are good. But do you have anything to say to Stampy over there? Hi.
I don't watch you, sorry, mate.
Okay.
I'm sure you watched that.
So let me ask you guys a really straight question. Do you think social media is good or bad?
Bad.
Well,
It's bad, but people like me still consume it.
You?
it's good, bad. It's 70% bad, 30% good.
Okay. That's
And
a nice way to put
in
it.
the-
Give it a
like, in like the 2000s, was there social media in the 2000s?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
What?
There was, but not
it was
at this
all just-
level.
It was all just celebrities. Like,
Yeah.
it was
So
actually celebrities.
in the
And
in,
people that
the,
had talent.
Yes.
in the 2000s, it would have been completely the other way around.
What do you think? Good or bad on social media?
So I like the way Lux portrayed it in that percentage thing, because I was sitting on the fence. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's bad, but when I think about if I wanted to put it into a percentage, I would say like it's like 70. I would go with what Lux said, 70-30. I feel like we've talked about lots of different things. I think this subject is quite complex, isn't it? Really, don't you think? Like social media is quite a complex subject now, and I guess to sum it up, if there was anything you guys could change about social media to make it better, what do you think it would be?
Oh, definitely that 70%.
Yeah, that's 70%. So what would you do to make it better?
Okay, the only thing is that 70% would include like WhatsApp and them type of things, because like
Yeah.
all of the bad stuff said on WhatsApp.
Mm.
But then that would mean getting rid of like communication apps and like getting rid of TikTok as well.
When TikTok's gonna be banned, they'll just create another app. It's happened. There was Vine, then there was Musical.ly. There's probably something before Vine, but I can't remember. Vine, Musical.ly, and now TikTok. TikTok's been the longest lasting. Everything will just continue to happen.
The only way to put this is then people would have to either change.
Can you
Would have
change
to-
people?
You can't change.
Exactly.
people's
That's the thing is you'd have
You
to.
think you can change every teenager in this world's thinking?
And that's what I'm saying. So it's beyond the point of change.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't. I don't think.
Just like a simple ban or something, they're just gonna make another account.
I feel that social media should be regulated. I think that certain types of accounts should have a minimum age limit, not of 12, but maybe a 14 or something like that. I believe that parents should take more responsibility for their children's consumption of social media, because you know there are a lot of parents, me included, out there that sometimes for a bit of peace of mind, do you know what, let my child go on TikTok or let them go on, because that sometimes is the only space that you're going to get, and that's not an excuse. That is by no means an excuse. But even if that regulation around consuming didn't lie with the parent, like every child gets 2 hours of TikTok content to watch, and then
But
TikTok switches it off themselves,
Yeah,
or Instagram switches.
Yeah, but you know
whoever
what? Children these days are smart. They'll just put their age to like 1999, pretend they're an adult, then they can go on TikTok how much they want. Because you think they're really going to be restricting how long adults will let them have it.
But what I'm saying is that you have to provide the relevant ID and everything else. It should be regulated in that way.
ID
should
for
be.
TikTok.
Yes, there should be laws out there whereby you have to put all your ID and you have to verify yourself. You have to show that
So
you're
what?
a
So
person.
that people can take then all your data and then sell it.
Sorry if my child or I have, or any of us have caused any offence. It's like I feel like I need to give a disclaimer right now. I don't know what about, but I feel like I need to give a disclaimer to everybody.
No, but if you...
I just feel that it should be, yeah.
Yeah, but when you put all of your personal information in these untrustworthy social media, they're just going to sell all your data. All your personal information will then be sold for money. What are you going to do about that then? That's the problem.
And
at
also,
hand,
then there's just going to be another app, and then
there'll just be another app where you don't have to use an ID.
And then they're going to make it have an idea. So then another app's going to pop up. Then another app. There's no way to regulate it.
I think there is. I think that, you know, I think that if people give this a little bit more thought, you can regulate it. I think schools could ban phones.
They have. You're not allowed to go on your...
You're not allowed to go on your phone, and you see the kids in the toilets making their TikToks. I've seen you lot. I've watched you lot making your TikToks in the toilets at school.
I've made TikToks.
Across the UK, people do
Not
that.
in school.
In school.
Yeah, I made TikToks
Right?
at school.
I think everybody has a response. This is
Who
everybody.
hasn't made a TikTok at school?
Me.
Me. I don't go to school.
You did go to school, Mum.
This is everybody's business. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a child, whether you're an auntie, whether you're an uncle, whether you're a school teacher, it doesn't matter who you are who you are. Everybody, even the child. Like, children have a responsibility for themselves as well in some ways. Like, I know that, you know, everybody's child isn't mature, but, you know, I just think that otherwise things are just going to go really out of control. Like, by the time you guys have your children, like, I don't know what the world's going to be like.
By the time I have my children, I probably think I wouldn't even be allowing them to have a phone.
That's a good idea. Should I stop your phone?
Do you know what?
I'm like, ban your TV as well.
Yeah, unlike you, I could survive with that.
I could survive without a phone as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Mum. Maybe I won't. Maybe this morning when I didn't go on my phone the whole morning because I was too busy doing stuff, then maybe that's fine then.
Okay, do you know what?
I just feel that I think if everybody took some responsibility, and I think we could regulate social media. We could stop children taking phones to school.
No, that's not gonna work.
No, because Mum.
No, so you take your phone to school, you hand it in, and you go for your school day without your phone.
Where would you hand it into?
The office,
The office.
So how long is it gonna take to get your phone? How long?
Why are you so negative?
I'm just saying that makes
Why?
no sense.
Do you know what?
In your first tutor, what's the first lesson of the day that you have?
Tutor.
In your tutor, you put your phone in the bloody box. Sorry.
No.
In
So
your
then,
tutor.
so then at the end of the day, that's going to add another half an hour. Everyone going back to their tutor to go get their phone.
At the end of the day, everyone.
So that's going to change all the bus time schedules.
No. 10 minutes at the beginning of the day and 10 minutes at the end of the day.
Yeah, but if you're on the other side of the school, it's gonna, and with all 30 children in your class, you think it's only gonna take you 10 minutes to come.
Schools have implemented it, Mahi. I'm happy to put you in contact with them if you would like me to.
I'm good.
But schools have implemented it, and I would love for all the schools across the UK to implement that policy.
Yeah,
please do.
Mum.
Please do. But that's just one simple thing you can do to regulate the usage and the consumption of social media. Sorry, Laksh.
Just think about it. For like rebellion. Rebellion.
No one's. They're just gonna say, "Oh, I don't have a phone."
Wait.
What she said, and they're literally just. They're gonna. I didn't bring a phone in today.
So they're gonna lie.
Yeah, because they don't want. Who would want to hand their phone in to school? Do you think anyone really trusts school?
Like, a lot of schools across the UK have started implementing it. That is one simple thing that we could do.
And then they're going to go home and be on their phones again for 10 hours. Telling now students wouldn't hand their phone in.
I think my experience and understanding of it is a little bit different to yours then.
I go to a British high school.
No one's
going to hand their phone in.
Especially in your school.
Then they get punished.
How will they know that they haven't handed their phone in?
I would do spot checks on the bags.
Every
Everybody's
single
bags.
morning.
I would, yes. I would employ a teacher Especially for that.
Employ a teacher.
I would employ a teacher.
But
If
Mum,
that-
They're already running out of staff.
If that meant the well-being of my student community, I would do that.
They're
but
gonna
Mum,
hate
think
you.
about
I don't
think
care.
about the
I'm
lessons.
not here to be liked.
Mum,
So what would you do that for sixth formers as well?
Mum.
Yeah.
So that's gonna take.
For sixth formers as well. Grown adults, you take their phone off them. What about in universities?
Not universities.
But they're sixth formers, Mum. They're about to go into universities.
They're young adults.
So,
Wait.
as,
Let me just
as
say something.
controversial as it sounds,
Let me just say something.
I think that any child that is up to college level, they should not be consuming their phone in the school day. I went through the whole of my life without consuming a phone in the day. I was fine. I used to walk to school. I used to walk home. I was fine. You lot would be fine.
But
too.
Mum. I just have something to say to you. How long? Think. That's one lesson you've just taken away from their school day.
So
That's an hour extra after
it's a
school.
life lesson. This is my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. It doesn't
Okay.
have to be anybody else's. Okay. My voice has got louder as well. I'm just sharing my view. My view is that there's one simple thing. We talked about what we could change. One thing that I think we can simply change is children are not allowed to have their phones in schools.
Is this only for UK schools? I'm just...
This is my view. Any school, right?
Okay,
Children shouldn't be allowed to have their phones. Do you have your phone at school?
No.
Okay. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good.
But the thing is, most children in high schools, they walk home by themselves.
Yeah, so they can take their phone to school.
Yes,
I used to walk to school
Mum,
by
the
myself.
thing is,
I used to walk. There's many kids out there that used to walk, still probably do walk to school by themselves without a phone.
yeah, but that's not very safe, is it?
Well, do you think I was safe? Or do you think I was unsafe then? Do you think
No,
all
but
those people
no,
up
the
to
one
now,
now-
were unsafe as they were
So
walking to school?
would you send all three of your children to school without a phone then?
Yes.
No.
Will you send me without a phone then?
Yes, I'm happy to. Let's give it a try.
No, I'm not doing that, Mum. There are so many
I'm happy to
weirdos.
do it.
Yes.
I'm happy to do
So
it.
would you? So all the people that live on the other side of town, would you let them go through town without their phone, not being able to contact anyone?
There's public phones.
Where?
Probably.
The things that people.
If they're
piss in.
they're running away from someone who's trying to chase them down. Yeah. You
I
don't
have
have time to go into the public phone. Hello there. How are you? Can I please just like?
So let's bring. I want to reel this back in because I feel like it's diverting us. Yeah.
I'm just saying, when I have a child, especially when they're in high school and they're walking home by themselves, I would let them, for the safety of my child, I would prefer, I don't care what they do in the day at school, because at the end of the day it's their education. If they mess them up, that's not on me. But for the safety of my child, if they took their phone into school, I would be happy.
You'd be happy.
I don't.
Yeah.
The only problem that I have with that is if they're taking their phone into school. I didn't have a problem with the child taking their phone into school.
Okay.
My problem is, well, not my problem. My
It's you.
one simple thing that I think that we could do is stop the consumption of phones in school time. And in the evenings, all parents should have a screen time thing with a lock on it. There's
Mum,
really
do you know
simple
what?
things. People
Do you-
need to take some responsibility.
Some parents don't care.
I know exactly,
Some
they don't
parents literally
Do not
could
care.
not care less. So do you think them parents are going to do this? No, why would they do that? Because I could just be spending my time elsewhere.
Well, I told you, even
What about the parents that work in 16-hour shifts? They won't care.
But I've told you myself sometimes. I allow you guys to go on social media just for a bit of quiet time.
Oh, please don't take my phone away from me.
In my time, when I was growing up, children should be seen and not heard.
It's changed now.
It's changed. Children are just heard and seen and in your face. They're literally like this.
So, Mum, you don't want children to have a voice?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
So
What
do you
I'm
still
not
believe-
saying-
So do you still believe that children should be seen and not heard?
No, I do not agree with that.
Thank you.
I just want to be really clear. I do not agree with that. Sometimes, as a parent, and I've said this already, and I'm going to say it again, I allow my children to consume social media because I'm working or I've got stuff to do. I just want like 10 minutes of peace. I'm a single mum. Sometimes that's what happens, and I know there's lots of people like me out there. I agree with you guys. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I I need to take some responsibility to make sure that my children, and I say this to you all the time, you know what, so what if you're bored? You can be bored.
Mum, what would you do if you found out that I've been on my phone in school before?
I know you've been on your phone in school.
Yeah, you showed
I've
us
had
a picture
messages
of
from you. I've had messages from you. I know you've been in your school, but I would have to. That is partly why I think we're in this, like, I think social media. Sorry, I don't want to go. Social media has given us this instant thing to everything. Like, we want an instant reply back. We want an instant message. Everything's at
Hello?
just here in this phone thing, and everything has to be responded to straight away. But it doesn't.
You know what TikTok I saw? Imagine when you die, your entire life flashes before your eyes, and then all you see is your phone.
Exactly.
I saw that video after my 10-hour screen time.
It's true though, isn't it? Like, you wouldn't have any and I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, now when we do things or we go to places, I don't use my phone and take loads of photos anymore because I want to look at things through my own eyes.
You still take photos though.
I do take photos, but not loads of them.
I'd rather take photos though.
Because then you can remember it.
But there's some, like, there's some things.
No, just get a camera.
Sometimes you just want to be present without a camera or without a photo. You just want to be there.
Yeah, Mum, you want to be there, but you want to see yourself.
I wish
there.
it was just a flip phone for like phone to call
Yeah.
people on, message.
That's
music,
what it used to be.
You have 5, 6 phones.
Music and camera.
The thing that I want to see, take a selfie. Yeah, you don't just want to see. So you go. You don't just want to see a beach. You want to see yourself at the beach. So if you take a selfie, then you can actually see yourself at the beach.
That is true. And then you post it on social media for other people to see as well.
No,
Yes, for them to be jealous of
Then
you.
you add the trending sound to it in the hope that people are going to love your video and your song. I've given my opinion, and it's taken us a long, long time to. I don't know. It's like our conversation has
digressed.
expanded through that. Do you guys have any views?
We said, I don't think it's changeable.
Okay. Is there anything you think we can do for social media
nothing.
at all?
No, like we can try.
I think there's ways. I think more needs to be done about blocking bad content.
I think there should be
I
like certain words that you can't type.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, so I think, and certain types of pictures and videos that you shouldn't be able to, like, there needs to be a rating. You know, like when we watch films,
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
rating, isn't it? Like, so, like, we let Lux watch 15, even though he's only 10.
It's
But
traumatising.
you know what I mean? Like, there
It's
should be.
traumatised.
I feel like that's the type of regulation that social media needs, like that kind of rating, don't we? So something is for like a PG or it's universal or it's a.
If you go on the App Store, they do have like age ratings.
Yeah, but within the app,
Oh,
only if you are a certain age or what. And I know what you said. You'll just make up your age on the app and things like. You can do all of that. We've had this conversation already, but we've got to start taking measures to do that. Like these apps or the owners of these apps, you know who you are. Like what?
Yeah,
you are actually impact. I think
We're talking about you.
the owners of these apps. There's technology has advanced so much. There's things that they can do. So that
these owners of the apps aren't working. Sorry.
there are things that they can do to monitor and make sure there's age ratings for different content. I think we need to start asking those questions then. You know, why is it a 12-year-old can't watch an 18 film because the parents won't let them, and yet the 12-year-old can watch an 18 TikTok, 18 plus TikTok.
What's the 18 plus TikTok?
Like what?
Oh, something that's only meant for 18.
Yes, so something that's only the type. Go on, sorry.
Have you ever gotten it where when you scroll on TikTok, it says only suitable for 18s, okay, and
No, I haven't had that. Have you?
like when you scroll and then the video minimizes and it says 3 options. I can't remember the third one.
No.
Have you never gotten that?
No.
You must have.
No.
Because I've gotten it multiple times. Next time it happens, I'll tell you.
But that needs to be okay. So it sounds like that is somewhat starting to be put into place,
But there's a restricted mode on TikTok and that does nothing.
doesn't it?
No.
So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's things that they could put into place into these apps. Like, if you're a parent, you can put it on like a 12 mode or a 15 mode. Those things would be really easy to do, so that your child can only consume content
Yeah,
that's
but
age related.
The thing is, that would be so much work for the owners. Yes, you. To like, they would have to like sort every video out.
I think there just needs to be good regulation of these apps and all these sort of things. I think that fundamentally is the thing that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
You know, and I think regulation and the apps themselves having built-in mechanisms whereby the parents can make sure that the ratings are right and they can lock that rating for their child and things like that. And yes, there are going to be parents out there that don't care, but there are some out there, like myself, that do actually care about.
And there's some that care too much.
Yeah.
Do any of us have any closing remarks?
My closing remark is that social media can sometimes be a good space, but there are also a lot of dark areas.
My closing remark is, remember, 70% of the videos are bad, 30% of them are good. So try and make the 30% more popular and known.
Social media isn't going to go away. That's something I think we've talked about quite a lot today, and I've heard what you said. As a parent, and there's lots of parents like me out there, I think we all need to just take some responsibility into what our children are consuming and how they are consuming different content.
And with that, we would like to say
Thank you for
listening.
Bye.
Bye.